They say you can learn everything about a person by watching them when they think no one is looking. I learned that truth during 8 months of mopping floors, emptying trash cans, and being invisible. My name is Marcus Bennett, and this is the story of how I brought down an empire while everyone thought I was just the janitor. Riverside Academy sits on 12 acres of manicured lawns and old money, the kind of place where the lockers cost more than most people's cars. I started working there in January, taking the night custodian position. Nobody asks questions about the quiet guy who cleans up after everyone goes home. That was exactly what I needed. But let me back up. 8 months before I pushed that mop across the marble floors of Riverside's main hall, I was sitting in a federal building downtown wearing a suit and a badge. Special Agent Marcus Bennett, FBI Financial Crimes Division. My supervisor, Agent Williams, slid a thick file across the desk toward me. Victor Donovan, real estate mogul, philanthropist, and according to 18 months of investigation, one of the biggest money launderers in the state. He was funneling dirty money through construction contracts, specifically school construction contracts. The problem was we couldn't prove it. Every paper trail led to a dead end. Every witness suddenly developed amnesia. Money talks, and Victor Donovan had enough of it to make everyone shut up. Williams looked at me with tired eyes and said we needed someone on the inside. Someone who could access buildings after hours. Someone who could photograph documents. Someone completely invisible. I volunteered before he finished explaining. 3 weeks later, I was Marcus Bennett, custodian, starting at Riverside Academy where Donovan's tentacles reached deepest. The first month was quiet. I learned the rhythms of the school, figured out which administrators left sensitive documents on their desks, memorized the security camera blind spots. I was patient. Good investigations require patience. Then I met Tyler Donovan. He was 17, golden-haired, and walked through Riverside like he owned it. Technically, his father did own a significant chunk of it. The Donovan Science Wing, the Donovan Athletic Complex, the Donovan Memorial Library. Every plaque a reminder that money could buy anything, including immunity for your spoiled son. Tyler traveled with an entourage. Brad, built like a linebacker with half the brain cells. Kieran, wiry and cruel, always ready with his phone to record the next humiliation. Together they were Riverside's untouchable royalty, and they made sure everyone knew it. I first encountered Tyler on a Tuesday afternoon. I was mopping the cafeteria, methodically working my way across the tile floor. He strutted in with his crew, saw me, and deliberately kicked over my bucket. Dirty water spread across the floor I had just cleaned. "Whoops," he said, smirking. "Better clean that up, janitor man. That's what we pay you for, right?" His friends laughed. I looked at him for 3 seconds, just long enough to see the challenge in his eyes, then bent down and righted my bucket. I said nothing. Tyler wanted a reaction, wanted me to get angry so he could have me fired. I gave him nothing. But I saw something in that moment. I saw a kid who had never been told no, who had never faced consequences, who genuinely believed his father's money made him invincible. And I knew, watching him walk away laughing, that Tyler was going to be a problem. I was right. The harassment started small. Tyler would accidentally bump into me in hallways, knocking cleaning supplies from my hands. He would throw trash on floors I had just mopped and stand there watching me clean it again. Once, he took my lunch from the staff refrigerator and threw it in the garbage right in front of me. "Looked like it belonged there anyway," he said. I retrieved it silently, threw it away properly, and went back to work. But I also started documenting everything. Photos, timestamps, witnesses. Not because I cared about Tyler's bullying. I had endured worse in my career, but because patterns of behavior reveal character, and character reveals connections. Tyler's sense of invincibility came from somewhere, and that somewhere was Victor Donovan's corruption. The social media posts started around week 3. Someone created a hashtag, Riverside Loser. Photos of me mopping, taking out trash, eating alone in the custodian's closet. The posts got hundreds of likes. Teachers saw them and said nothing. The principal saw them and did nothing. The Donovan family donated too much money to risk offending them over a janitor's dignity. Every night after my shift, I would sit in my car in the empty parking lot and review the day's findings. Photos of construction invoices I had photographed from the principal's office. Payment records that did not add up. Purchase orders for materials that were never delivered. Slowly, methodically, I was building the case that would destroy Victor Donovan. But Tyler kept escalating. He made me re-clean bathrooms that were already spotless, standing there with his phone recording, narrating like it was comedy content. Watch the loser scrub toilets. This is what happens when you amount to nothing. The video got 1,500 views in 2 hours. I scrubbed the toilets. I said nothing. I documented everything. Then came the day that changed everything. Her name was Sophia Chen, honor student, scholarship recipient, worked part-time in the library to help pay for books. She was quiet, brilliant, and exactly the kind of student Riverside Academy claimed to nurture. She was also someone Tyler decided to target. I was cleaning the third-floor hallway when I heard raised voices. Tyler had cornered Sophia near the lockers, his crew blocking the exits. I slowed my cart, moved closer, stayed in the shadows. Just write the essay, Sophia. It's not that complicated. Tyler's voice had an edge I had not heard before. Desperation hiding under arrogance. I'm not going to help you cheat, Sophia said. Her voice trembled but held firm. Write your own college essay. Tyler's face darkened. You're here because my dad paid for this school. You're nothing without us. Without our money, you would be in some public school with the other losers. He grabbed her backpack and dumped it. Books, papers, pens scattered across the floor. Sophia knelt to gather her things, and that was when Tyler shoved her. Not hard, but hard enough. She stumbled back against the lockers with a metallic crash that echoed down the empty hallway. Something broke inside me. Not the FBI agent. Not the undercover operative maintaining his cover. Just the part of me that could not watch a kid get hurt by someone who believed money made them untouchable. I dropped my mop. The clatter made Tyler turn. He saw me, and his face twisted into that familiar smirk. What are you going to do, janitor? Clean up the mess. I walked toward him, calm, measured, every step deliberate. Get out of my way, or you're fired, Tyler said. But something in his voice wavered. Maybe he saw something in my eyes. Maybe he finally understood that not everyone was afraid of his father's money. I don't work for you, I said quietly. Tyler swung at me. Sloppy, telegraphed, the punch of someone who had never actually been in a fight. I blocked it easily, caught his wrist, and in 3 seconds had him face down on the floor in a controlled hold. Not brutal, not excessive, just enough to make him understand he was not in control anymore. Brad and Kieran had their phones out, recording everything. Good. Let them record. You're going to apologize to her, I said, keeping my voice level. Right now. Tyler struggled, but I had 70 pounds of muscle and 15 years of tactical training on him. His face pressed against the cold tile floor, and I heard something that shocked me. He was crying. I'm sorry, he choked out. I'm sorry, Sophia. I'm sorry. I released him and helped Sophia gather her things. Students had appeared from classrooms, phones out, recording from every angle. Tyler scrambled to his feet, his face red and wet with tears, and ran. His entourage followed, leaving their king humiliated and exposed. The video went viral in 6 hours. By midnight, it had 3 million views. The untouchable Tyler Donovan, crying and apologizing to the scholarship student. The hashtag changed from Riverside Loser to Riverside Justice. The narrative shifted, and Victor Donovan's carefully constructed empire began to crack. I did not go to work the next day. Instead, I was in a federal building wearing tactical gear and a badge that read FBI. 20 agents moved simultaneously. Half went to Victor Donovan's downtown office. Half came with me to Riverside Academy. The principal's face when I walked into her office with my credentials was something I will never forget. Shock, confusion, fear. Special Agent Marcus Bennett, Financial Crimes Division. I've been working undercover here for 8 months. I handed her a warrant. We're seizing all financial records related to construction contracts funded by Donovan Enterprises. Downtown, Agents led Victor Donovan out of his office in handcuffs. Wire fraud, money laundering, tax evasion, conspiracy. The charges would put him away for 20 years. At his mansion, social services arrived to take Tyler into protective custody. His mother had already filed for divorce. The evidence I had gathered, those 8 months of photographing documents and building connections, had given us everything we needed. Victor Donovan's empire collapsed in a single morning, and it started with a janitor no one paid attention to. Riverside Academy held an emergency assembly. The Donovan family name would be removed from every building. Scholarships would be established for students like Sophia, funded by the recovered money from Donovan's fraud. Workers took down the bronze plaques one by one, erasing the legacy of corruption. Tyler was expelled. His social media accounts disappeared. His followers, those students who had laughed at his cruelty, suddenly pretended they had never known him. 2 weeks later, I returned to Riverside one last time. Not as a janitor, not as an agent, just as myself. Sophia found me in the parking lot. "Thank you," she said simply, "for standing up for me, for all of us." I handed her a card for FBI Victim Services. "You would have been fine without me. You already had the courage. I just made it a little easier." She smiled, and I saw something I had not seen in 8 months at Riverside. Hope. Real hope, not the fake kind that money buys. As I drove away, I thought about justice. Real justice is not loud or flashy. It is patient. It watches. It waits. It works in the shadows until the moment comes to step into the light. Sometimes the quietest person in the room is the most dangerous to those who abuse power. I have a new assignment now. Another school. Another corrupt system. Another custodian position where I will be invisible until I am not. Because bullies only thrive when good people stay silent. And I am done staying silent. If this story resonated with you, if you believe that standing up for what is right matters more than wealth or status, hit that subscribe button. Share this video with someone who needs to hear that justice is possible. Drop a comment telling me about a time you stood up to a bully or wish you had. Your story matters. Your voice matters. Remember, strength is not about being the loudest or the richest. It is about being willing to stand up when everyone else sits down. It is about protecting those who cannot protect themselves. It is about understanding that every empire, no matter how powerful, can fall when someone has the courage to push.